So, have you had people not really believe in your dream? Have you had people that kind of like scoffed at you? I seem to be on this theme for the last couple of days. I guess some old videos kind of triggered this because I remember a time when I would go on live in secret. I'd wait for someone to leave the house, or I would just feel like, okay, I'm going to still talk, even though I know someone or two, three just don't understand what I'm doing. What about you? Do you know, oftentimes those who criticize you, they're in a way they're threatened by you trying to improve yourself, trying to go forward, trying to follow your dreams, whether you really want to speak online or on stages, or you really want to have that coaching business, or you really believe in that product and you want to sell it. And you just sometimes it's like a speed bump, the critics. Yeah, see, a speed bump, not a wall. I don't want this to be a wall. So I was just often thinking about that this past weekend. For some reason, I would go for a walk and all of a sudden all these thoughts came in. It really made me feel tender and hurt for you, because I'm finally at a place where the critics aren't there. And if they were, I would push them out of my inner circle. And I have this freedom to be able to speak where before I didn't. So I know what it's like. You see, it's like when you go forward, you threaten them. Yeah, you threaten their comfortable. They'd rather veg out at night on the TV or play with their cat, who's going to enter the picture soon. Or and you just totally, you're going for it. You're studying. You're working. It's a threat to them. There's another saying that I always feel like it's like this: they are offended by the majesty of God on your life. They might be offended by the favor and grace of God on your life. So I was pondering that this morning, and I just, I just, I write. I write before I speak, and I soak my heart where I think about the hurts, but I write. So I want to share something with you that I hope encourages you. It's like the feeling with those comments can often make you feel stuck. Mm. The emotions that are involved might want to get the best of you. Your cat may play with your equipment. No, anyway, that's another tangent. So, what this may do is weigh you down with doubt and fear. So, it's here in this place, like when you feel this, I'm a testimony here in that place of the critics and you wondering if you're ever going to get to walk there without a bunch of cacophony pulling you down. I really believe you can find a place of great restoration as the bedrock of the word and even prayer. Do you know that prayer does something to your brain? It recalibrates your brain. Prayer is like structures your brain. Did you know that? I love science. I wish I could speak it as well as I do. But listen, let me share some truths with you, okay? I don't have it memorized, so I may look here. When you feel rather stuck with emotions that want to beat you down with doubt and fear, it's here in this place where the word can meet you right where you're at. Can I share some truths that Jesus was kind of like the Holy Spirit was downloading? Listen to this. Jesus stands ready to elevate you from the mire of fear, rebellion, shame, emotional turmoil, transgression. He has the power, the Holy Spirit. He has the power to purify you, allowing his light to breathe new, invigorating life into your very being. Yes, Jesus is constantly helping you and working you with your identity, that you can shine, that you can be a light in the darkness. And sometimes, though, the darkness just seems to be beating you up. So how can Jesus help you with your true identity? Because often your voice comes from your identity. He can transform, this is hope for you. He can transform your hardened heart into one that is soft and receptive. A heart that can be attuned to his voices, to his whispers in the night, his whispers during the day, of his love and his mercy and his grace and his forgiveness. He can rejuvenate your spirit. That's good news. Through the sanctifying power of his word. He can rejuvenate your spirit as you learn to walk in expectancy mode, as you learn to forgive, as you learn to take time to store. And as you go into that rebuild where you're expecting God to move, because God is a good, good God. The greatest example of expectancy mode was Jesus. He had to feed 5,000 to 5 loaves, 2 fish. You think he was like rubbing his hands? No, he had an expectancy mode. But he did something for us before he fed the 5,000. He lifted that bread up and he thanked the Father. So that gives us the foundation of thankfulness, thankfulness, thankfulness to make us able to go into the expectancy mode. The expecting. I'm dwelling on this because the expectancy mode, even though you have no evidence around you, but you're thankful because God is a good God. You have no evidence of that money or that job or that dream, but you're expecting it. Do you know that that releases dopamine, which is transmitters that affect your brain for healing, and it also beats off depression? Whoa! I've walked in some depression. That's good news. So, His Holy Spirit, His light can propel your life forward like a gale force wind, filling your sails. I often think of a sailboat. The Holy Spirit is leaning in and saying, "Hey, T, let me drive the sailboat." And you're like, "Oh, okay, sure." When the Holy Spirit drives your sailboat, He can take you to places you never dreamed of. He can take you to places you never thought of. He can take you places to the innermost being of your dream, but you would never known how to get there if you didn't surrender and say, "Okay, you drive the sailboat." But it is a battle. So let me say this finally. When agony slices through you, let it propel you forward. Let it propel you to your knees, guiding you very back to the very place of redemption, of peace, of hope at the foot of the cross. Here in your most vulnerable place, your most transparent place before the Lord, you can find the ultimate freedom and hope. You can find solace, redemption. You've been yearning for this so that you can go forward past the critics to your dream. Working hard. Dreams don't work unless you do, but working hard from a resting place, an abiding place. You're working hard as if everything depends on God and not you. So from that place, you work, you expect, you thank God, you move. Does someone need this morning? Does someone like, hey, you're talking my language. Does someone want to encourage someone else with this word? We go live, by the way, not on this platform, but on Instagram. That's a great place to get revved up. We call it Mental Mondays. I say we. It's with my friend and coach, Alana Vandeventer. So join us on Instagram. Probably be about 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern time. Yeah, hi from the UK. Oh, bless you. Rachel, we salute you. Yes, Rachel. God, you are His much loved daughter, and He hasn't forgotten your dreams, Rachel. So join us later on Instagram and take heart. Final word on the critics. I said I already had a final word, but this is a tough word, but I'm going to say it. Sometimes you need to push the critics out of your inner circle. Now, that's very hard when it's a spouse. I understand that. But God calls us together to heal each other and not kill each other. So stand your ground. God's given you a dream. God's given you an assignment. Stand your ground. He'll help you. And if the critics aren't in your inner circle, maybe you just need to say, hey, yo, Joe, I'm not going. Hey, Sue, I'm not going to coffee with you today. Hey, have a good time. Because if they are so offended by what you are doing, they'll just try to drag you down. But let me tell you something. I know something about you. You're a soldier. You're a warrior. You know your assignment, and you're ready to go forward with that assignment. So with that, I will say one word, one phrase to you. Carry on, soldier. You can do it. Carry on.